Right now, you are being watched. Not by a government. Not by a stranger. By something you invited into your pocket. Something you use every single day. Something you trust. You think you chose what to watch next. You think you chose what to read, what to believe, what to care about. But you didn't. It chose for you. 5 billion people use the internet every day. More than half the planet. And every single one of them, every single one of us, opens an app, a feed, a platform, and starts scrolling. We scroll when we wake up. We scroll on lunch breaks. We scroll in bed at midnight, telling ourselves just one more video. Just one more post. But here is what nobody tells you, there is no accident in any of it. There is no random. Every video that appears before your eyes. Every post that stops your thumb. Every piece of content that makes you feel something, it was placed there. Deliberately. Precisely. By a system that knows you better than you know yourself. This is the invisible architecture of your attention. This is the algorithm. And today, we're going inside it. So what exactly is an algorithm? Strip away the technical language, and the answer is simple, it is a set of rules. A recipe for making decisions. When you open TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, the platform faces a problem. It has billions of videos and posts. It cannot show you all of them. So it must decide, in a fraction of a second, what to put in front of your eyes first. That decision is made by the algorithm. And it is not random. It is not neutral. It is engineered to do one specific thing. Keep you watching as long as possible. Now, when the internet was young, content was served chronologically. Newest post first. Simple. Transparent. You chose to follow someone, and you saw what they shared. But that model was inefficient. People would check their feed, see nothing interesting, and leave. Revenue dropped. Engagement fell. And so, the platforms made a decision that would change everything. They hired the smartest engineers, the most brilliant data scientists, the most insightful behavioral psychologists, and they asked them one question. How do we make people stay? The answer was the ranked feed. The personalized algorithm. A system that would learn your behavior, predict your desires, and serve you content specifically engineered to hold your attention, even when you should be sleeping, working, or living your life. And it worked. God, it worked. Better than anyone imagined. 10 billion hours. Every single day. That is not an accident. That is engineering. Here is where it gets unsettling. The algorithm does not just watch what you click. It watches everything. It watches how long you pause on a post before scrolling past. It watches whether your thumb slows down over a certain face, a certain topic, a certain emotion. It tracks the exact second you stopped watching a video, and it asks, why? Did you get bored? Did you get uncomfortable? Did you get outraged? Did you get sad? Every micro-behavior you perform is a data point. And these data points are fed, in real time, into models that are building a psychological portrait of you. A model of your personality. Your fears. Your desires. Your triggers. This is called behavioral prediction. And it is extraordinarily accurate. Studies have shown that Facebook's algorithm could predict your personality more accurately than your own friends after just 70 likes. More accurately than your family after 150 likes. And more accurately than your partner. The person who knows you most intimately, after just 300 likes. 300 clicks. And a machine knows you better than the person sleeping next to you. But the algorithm doesn't just know you. It uses that knowledge to change you. Because once it understands what makes you click, what makes you stay, what makes you feel, it begins to serve you a custom-built reality. A feed so perfectly tuned to your psychological profile that stepping away from it feels like leaving a world designed just for you. Which is exactly what it is. To understand why the algorithm is so effective, we have to understand one thing about the human brain. it is not built for the modern world. Our brains evolved over hundreds of thousands of years to seek rewards. Food, safety, social connection. And every time we found one of those rewards, our brain released a chemical called dopamine, the molecule of motivation. The brain's way of saying, do that again. The algorithm weaponizes dopamine. A notification. A like. A comment. A viral video that hits perfectly. Each one is a micro-hit of dopamine. Not enough to satisfy, just enough to want more. This is the same mechanism behind slot machines, behind gambling, behind some of the most addictive behaviors known to psychology. And the platforms know it. They designed it this way. Former design ethicist at Google, Tristan Harris, called this the race to the bottom of the brain stem. Platforms compete with each other not just for your time, but for your most primitive impulses. Because outrage keeps you watching longer than joy. Fear keeps you scrolling longer than happiness. Anxiety keeps you checking longer than contentment. There is a term for this, attention engineering. The deliberate design of digital environments to capture and hold human attention by exploiting psychological vulnerabilities. The infinite scroll, no stopping point, no moment where the content runs out, that was a design choice. The autoplay feature that starts the next video before you can decide whether you want to watch it, that was a design choice. The notification badges, the red dots, the pull to refresh gesture that mimics the action of a slot machine, all design choices. None of it was accidental. All of it was intentional. Your attention is the product. Your addiction is the business model. Here is the cold economic truth underneath all of this. Social media platforms do not make money from you directly. You do not pay for Instagram. You do not pay for TikTok. You do not pay for YouTube's homepage. It feels free. But nothing in this world is free. You are not the customer. You are the product. The actual customer is the advertiser. And advertisers pay based on one metric above all others, time. How long can you keep a human being inside the platform? Because every additional second you spend scrolling is another opportunity to serve an ad. Another fraction of a cent earned. Facebook generates roughly $50 per user per year in the United States. Multiply that by 3 billion users. That is the scale of the financial incentive to keep you engaged, to keep you addicted, to keep you unable to put the phone down. And so every algorithm decision, every choice about what to show you, when to show it, in what order, is ultimately a financial decision. Dressed up as personalization. Marketed as a feature. They called it giving you what you want. What they meant was giving you what keeps you locked in. If this were simply about watching too many videos, we might not be so concerned. But the consequences run far deeper than distraction. They run into the very fabric of how we see the world. When the algorithm curates your reality, it creates something psychologists call an echo chamber. A digital environment where you are shown ideas that align with what you already believe. Where dissenting views are filtered out. Where your worldview is constantly reinforced, never challenged. Over time, this distorts your perception of reality. You begin to believe that everyone thinks like you. That your perspective is not just one view, it is the obvious truth. And anyone who disagrees must be ignorant, or deceptive, or dangerous. The same algorithm, the same platform, producing two completely different realities. Is it any wonder our societies feel so divided? Is it any wonder that we cannot agree on basic facts anymore? And then there is misinformation. Research has consistently shown that false information spreads faster and farther on social media than true information. Why? Because outrage and shock drive more engagement than nuance and truth. The algorithm does not care if something is real. It only cares if it makes you react. And then there is the mental health crisis that no one wants to talk about directly. Study after study links heavy social media use to elevated rates of anxiety, depression, loneliness, and low self-esteem. Particularly in young people. You are being shown a curated version of everyone else's life, the highlights, the achievements, the beauty. And you are comparing it to your unedited reality. Your mess. Your doubts. Your ordinary Tuesday. You will always lose that comparison. The algorithm makes sure of it.
I feel
So the
so
question you are
much
probably
easier.
asking right
Feels
now
nice
is,
lightly.
can I escape?
It's refreshing, isn't it?
Can I
Just
take
being
back
here.
control? The honest answer is, not entirely. Not while these systems exist at their current scale, with their current financial incentives intact. The algorithm will not disappear because you want it to. It will not become less powerful because you are aware of it. Awareness is a start. But awareness alone is not armor. However, and this matters, you are not powerless. There are things you can do. Cure it ruthlessly. Unfollow accounts that make you feel worse about yourself. Delete apps that you open out of habit rather than desire. Disable autoplay. Set time limits. Turn off notifications. These are not radical acts, they are acts of self-defense. Seek out discomfort deliberately. Read opinions you disagree with, not to be convinced, but to be reminded that the world is wider than your feed suggests. The algorithm fears your curiosity. It wants you predictable. And on a societal level, this is a conversation we are only just beginning to have. Regulation. Transparency in algorithmic design. Legislation around data collection and behavioral manipulation. These things are being debated. They may one day change the landscape. But right now, in this moment, the system is still running. And it is running on you. You started watching this video today. Maybe the algorithm recommended it. Maybe a friend shared it. Maybe you found it searching for answers. But here is the thing about knowing the truth, it does not free you automatically. The same system that brought you here is working right now, calculating your watch time, measuring your engagement, deciding what to show you next. The machine never stops. What you do with the knowledge, though, that is still yours. The next time you open your phone and your thumb begins to move, pause. Ask yourself one question. Am I choosing this, or is it choosing me? The algorithm knows almost everything about you. The only thing it cannot predict is whether you'll fight back.